Hi, this is Salona from Sunwise Design. This is a screencast about domain names. First of all, if you don't know what a domain name is, it's the web address that you type in your browser. So sunwisedesign.ca is my domain name. I'm often asked by clients who are setting up their new website, should they buy a domain name right away and where's the best place to get one? So yes, if you have found a good domain name that isn't already taken, and I'll show you how to search for them, I would register it even if you're not ready to build your website. Over here in my web articles section, I've written a couple of articles about domain names, how to choose a good domain name, and should you buy your domain name and hosting separately, and I'll get into that in a little bit. So there are a few scenarios where you might not need a domain name. For example, if you're using something like WordPress and you want one of their free accounts, then you would enter in a username, so like Sunwise Design, and then down here your domain would become Sunwise Design or whatever username you pick, .wordpress.com. So this is great for something like a personal blog, but I would really recommend having your own domain if you're running any type of business or even just a project or not-for-profit. It's your brand on the web. So how do you get a domain name? These days, most hosting companies offer a free domain name when you purchase hosting through them. So here, free domain name for life. The catch is that they own your domain name, so if a time ever came that you wanted to change hosting providers, it could be a bit tricky to gain control back of your domain. I've personally never experienced any major snags with this. I've never lost a domain name, but you might want to buy your domain name separately from your hosting package just to be safe. So there's this organization called ICANN, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, and what they do, you read about, is they basically differentiate the different identities on the web. So they assign IP numbers, and I won't get into IP numbers, but you can look that up, Internet Protocol, and they assign the different domain names. So they have this link, they have this this list of accredited registrars, and a registrar is what we'll get into in a minute, is a company that registers your domain name. So they have this very long list of companies that are registered or accredited, excuse me, through them, and one of them is called Domain People. They are one that I'm familiar with. There are hundreds of them out there. I like them because they are ICANN certified, because they have this Whois protector, and I'll get into that in a minute as well, because they also register .cas, and they're relatively inexpensive. You can get cheaper. I think GoDaddy has some good prices, and they're great too, but I use Domain People. Whois is a pretty common place for people to go, whois.com, to look up a domain name. So I've got chocolate is good here, and you can check off the different extensions that you want to try, and you can search. And one of the things that they have in, not ICANN, but in Domain People, the Whois protector is basically when you do a search for a domain name, what it does is it comes up with who owns it. So if there's an X next to it, it means that it's already taken, and it will tell you who has it. So what Domain People do is to prevent spam. If you register your domain name to prevent other people from finding who owns that domain, they will provide their own information so that you aren't being spammed and aren't being found in that way. And if that's important to you, then they have that. So you can enter your domain name here, pick your extension, we'll try .ca, and search domains, and then once you find one that you like, that works for you, and that's not taken, then you can purchase it. And they're, like I said, relatively inexpensive, $14.95. That would be a year, and so every year you would get a bill for your domain name. So here we see that chocolateisgood.com status is taken, and if you click on that, it will tell you who has it. Chocolateisgood.ca is available, and you can click on it or check the checkbox next to it, and then click next, and it will take you through the sign-up process in order to purchase it. You will need to become a member of this site, so you'll basically need to choose a username and a password, and then once you're registered, I think if you check out, I think it's just telling you what you're purchasing. Then it will ask you for your username, your password, and then this image text, which is a CAPTCHA, just to make sure that you're an actual person. So sign up as a new customer is what you would click if you don't already have an account with them. It will ask you to pick a username, pick a password, enter your password again, enter the CAPTCHA, and then click next, and then it would take you through the sign up process where you would enter in your personal information or your business information and your payment information, and that would be how you get your domain name.